Schools across India have reopened in many regions. That's for the first time since the pandemic started. But as Neha Punya reports, not all students have returned to class.
India's been home to one of the longest school closures globally, and after 17 long months, these children have finally returned to school in India's largest state of Uttar Pradesh. But at every step, there's a reminder of COVID-19.
Okay, roll call.
Inside classrooms, students have been split up into two batches, each attending school on alternate days, and yet there are many who are missing.
Absent.
वैसे 70-80% तो बच्चे आ रहे हैं, उसमें से 30% के आसपास नहीं आ रहे, तो जैसे जैसे उन्हें पता चल रहा है कोई गांव में है, कोई कहीं पे है, किसकी जॉब चली गई थी पेरेंट्स की, तो अभी जैसे जैसे उनका सेटलमेंट हो रहा है, पेरेंट्स आ रहे हैं, अपनी जॉब दोबारा से स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं, तो बच्चे भी आ रहे हैं फिर.
With no plans to vaccinate those under the age of 18 yet, the government is trying to protect them by prioritising the vaccination of India's nearly 10 million teachers. They must get at least one shot by this month. Social distancing is mandated, but is tough to implement in smaller schools like this one. It caters to children from underprivileged backgrounds in the Geja village of Uttar Pradesh. Most classes, despite having only half the usual strength, are packed. So schools are going the extra mile to prevent mass outbreaks. It's recess time, but this ground is eerily silent and empty. That's because students can no longer leave their classrooms and they must eat at their desks. The school says it's the only way to ensure there's no overcrowding and to minimize unnecessary contact between students. But teachers say ensuring the safety of students isn't the only challenge. The last 2 years have set the students back in their learning significantly because they have missed so many classes.
क्योंकि मैंने ऐसे बच्चे देखे जो हमारे बच्चे 90% में थे, आज वो बच्चे 60 में हैं. क्यों? क्योंकि जो हमने ऑनलाइन काम कराया था वो काम नहीं हुआ, तो बच्चे रो रहे कि मैम हमारा काम, हमारे पास फ़ोन नहीं था. तो अब ये ड्यूटी हमारी बनी कि हम दोबारा से बच्चों को फिर लेसन 1 से चल रहे.
By the government's own estimates, 30 million children across India don't have access to digital devices needed to study online. While children from affluent backgrounds have continued their education through the pandemic, Asif Aslam hasn't. The 15-year-old missed half of all the online classes his school conducted in the last year and a half.
बहुत बार हुआ कि हमने क्लास मिस किए क्योंकि हमारे कभी-कभी पापा के मोबाइल से करते थे और पापा कभी ड्यूटी पे चले जाते थे, तो इससे में प्रॉब्लम होती थी. हमारे पास तो पर्सनल है नहीं जो हम लोग कर पाएं.
Asif is lucky that despite all odds, he was able to continue his education. This young girl was not. She's Asif's age but dropped out of school this year when her parents, who work as daily wage labourers, could no longer pay her fees. We've masked her identity on request.
मेरे को तो बहुत पढ़ना है, लिखना है, मगर क्या करें, हालात ही ऐसे है. सब कहते कि ऐसी है, रानी की चोरी है, वैसी है, कुछ नहीं कर पाएगी. इनका ब्याह करा दो, उन्हें ससुराल जाएगी, वही झाड़ू पोछा करेगी.
Before the pandemic started, a concerted push by the government to keep girls in school had successfully brought down the dropout rates among them. But COVID-19 has reversed all of those gains and widened already stark inequities. India's constitution makes education compulsory for children up to the age of 14. According to government data, about 89 million girls between the age of 7 and 14 are currently in school, but at least 1.6 million girls within that age group are not. Another estimated 10 million girls are also on the verge of dropping out.
Feel that, if it's just 1 or 2 or 3 years of education left for a boy, at some level they will still pay back, earn and give it back to the family. The girls will get married off and they will have to go, so why invest in their education at all?
Without access to education, experts warn girls face the risk of early marriage, trafficking, prostitution and violence. Protsahan, a New Delhi-based NGO, is helping to keep girls in school in the capital slums. They provide food to poor families to help with expenses, hoping to ensure girls aren't pulled out of school when there isn't enough money. In addition, they also give digital devices to children to study. There are many government schemes already in place to help keep girls in school. Apart from running awareness drives, the government offers scholarships and cash transfers to help girls finish high school. But experts argue because of bureaucratic red tape, they don't always reach those who need them the most. With talks of a third wave being inevitable, there are worries of more impending disruptions. There's been a 4% spike in the number of children contracting COVID-19 in the last 6 months, and if cases go up even more, schools could shut again. And that will be another setback for millions of vulnerable children in India who have only just started to find their way back to the classroom. Neha Punia, CNA, New Delhi.